Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be sending their video on Cars 2, and I would like to give thanks and dedications to Master Dale 115, Ogood Michael, Rava Stark, Skywalker McQueen 95, 85, 77, and Leorico the Seikyo Aniki for requesting this video. Enjoy the video, everyone.
It still takes 45 seconds for Pixar and Disney's logos to jerk each other off.
Well, these are going to continue to be shown because movies tell us who made them, so it's not like the filmmakers are doing this by mistake.
This is Agent Leland Turbo.
Pixar takes the Doc Hollywood-style story of Cars and makes the sequel a spy movie, like it's fucking James Bond.
Okay, here's two sins. One for just simply explaining this film's story, and also yes, James Bond was the inspiration for Vin. And the other is for the fact that Mater's character arc in this movie is different from McQueen's in the first movie. McQueen's character arc was learning humility, while Mater's is that he learns that he can unintentionally embarrass others and be seen as a fool.
Ben, please respond. Over.
Movie also airs in spending way too many opening minutes on characters we don't know.
Well, this is just the beginning of the movie. We'll get to know these characters more as the movie progresses, my dude.
Come on, guys. These crates aren't gonna unload themselves.
Although we are living in a world where if the crates did unload themselves, we wouldn't bat an eye.
But the crates aren't sentient, so why is this a sin?
Even if you could do this, why would you do this? You had a perfect look into what this operation was and got crystal clear audio. The only reason you do this is so you can get caught for movie purposes.
Yes, but Finn also does this so that he can get a closer look at the camera and try to find out what Zundap's scheme is.
2 tons of bull here, folks. 2 tons of bull. See, why does this car fall to absolute pieces upon hitting the water, but the pieces still maintain their basic body shape?
The surface tension is what causes this lemon to break apart, but the tires are still intact as a way of showing his remains. This is why when Finn later fakes his death, he has 4 tires rise to the ocean's surface so that the lemons think he's dead.
If every car on this rig was following him up the ramp that just exploded, then how are there any cars up here at the top ready to chase after him?
I would assume that these lemons were already at the top of the oil rig when Finn got to the top.
About a minute ago, we just saw a car explode from the surface tension, so how does Finn survive an even higher jump?
Well, Finn is a spy, so he's likely trained for this, and he's also in control of his actions, unlike Lemon, since he fell due to slipping on the oil.
Here's a car operating a gun on board a boat, and again I raise my concerns about how this fucking vehicle society works. Why is a car sentient enough to fire a boat gun, but the boat itself is not?
Well, Tony Trihell can fire weapons on his own. You just happen to cut those scenes out to make your point. Here they are.
Not for long.
And while I don't always notice you manipulating scenes, there have been times where I have noticed, such as in these 2 videos.
Who can stop us now?
Mater! Tow Mater! That's who!
That moment when you realize Mater is the sequel's main character instead of Lightning.
Yeah, so?
Is Lightning McQueen back yet?
Movie literally imitates conversations between children and their parents almost 9 minutes into this car sequel.
See the previous sin.
He must be crazy excited about winning his 4th Piston Cup.
Expositional towing.
I wouldn't call this exposition because Otis isn't comprehensively explaining where McQueen has been, just saying that he won a race.
Mater, it's so good to see you.
You too, buddy!
Speak for yourselves.
First of all, who cares? Second of all, this sin will be receiving my award.
Look, I know Paul Newman died a couple years after Cars, but how did his character die? That motherfucker was in tip-top shape. If this asshole Otis can keep driving around and breaking down on the side of the road, surely Doc could do better than that. I feel like they could say he moved to some faraway island to get the same effect.
It's never explained how Doc died, but Pixar made this decision for a reason. When Cars was in production, Pixar wrote Doc after listening to Paul Newman talk about his passion for racing. So after he died in 2008, Pixar felt like it was right to have Doc be deceased as well.
The Incredibles is probably 10 times better than this movie.
While I do agree that The Incredibles is better than this movie, you're just stating your opinions again here, so I'll also give this sin my award.
To show the world what his new super fuel can do, he's created a racing competition like no other. And
What? Why not just scientifically demonstrate your fuel's benefits on a YouTube video?
1, because racing is a main part of these movies, and 2, Axelrod creates the World Grand Prix as a cover-up to make cars turn against all in all and other alternative fuels.
Let me see if I have this right. Lightning is chilling on vacation at home, but some open-wheel race bitch brags on Lightning, and Mater just happens to be watching, so he calls in to challenge that ragging dude. Lightning comes to see what the fuss is about, sees his friend getting dissed on TV, and then agrees to a road course race challenge out of pure defense of Mater, and no concept of the race itself. And that's how this movie kicks its main plot into gear? I mean...
Congratulations, Jeremy, you summed up what we just saw on screen.
Using a Cars song for this montage is a little too on the nose. The Cars rule. The Cars movies do not. Let's not confuse the two for younger generations.
For the 3rd time in this video, you're just giving your opinions here, meaning that I'll give this my award.
Maybe I'm just being a dick to cartoons giving me funny details while I watch a travel montage, but what the f does Mater need with a travel pillow?
Probably to make himself comfortable during the flight.
Everyone on this plane is asleep except Lightning and Mater, and they're awake because they're watching Japanese Ninja Warrior for Cars, I guess? This movie is so f***ing offensively terrible, Jesus.
Oh nice, Jer, you're just telling us what we can see on the screen here.
Hey, look, it's that spy car from the opening, about whom I remember nothing.
Hey look, you're just pointing something out on the screen again here.
Sitting on the biggest oil reserve in the world.
How did we miss that?
They've been scrambling everyone's satellites.
Oh!
Sinning something you like.
American is here tonight to pass it to you.
Why would some important spy be happening here, in the preamble to the big race? Why isn't this exchange happening somewhere that's secluded? Is it so there will be a hilarious mix-up with Mater where he becomes relevant to the story?
Firstly, before Rod gets attacked by Graham and Acer, he does attempt to meet up with Finn privately in the bathroom to give him the device. Secondly, to answer this part of your sin, yes.
He's a little excited, isn't he?
Pea joke. How Shrek of you, Pixar sequel. Straight from a wasabi misunderstanding joke into a pea joke.
Okay, why do you always compare this kind of humor with the Shrek movies? Lots of movies use this kind of humor, so it's not like the Shrek movies stand out from others in terms of their humor.
I refuse to believe Hong Kong's bathroom door symbols for gender are this vague. This is just more manufactured confusion to create Mater hilariousness.
Except this part of the movie doesn't take place in Hong Kong. It takes place in Tokyo.
I'm again left wondering why a car in disguise needs to get out of disguise for any reason ever, especially for something like this.
Well, he's doing this so that we, the audience, can know that he's the agent meant to meet with Finn and Holly and not one of the lemons.
Mater is oblivious to this battle because he's been sidetracked by his first bidet experience.
When she starts giggling, prepare to be squirted.
This is the exact same thing that happened to me the last time I visited a porn set.
Ugh.
Also, I saw The Man Who Knew Too Little, and I'm looking down at you for basically doing a car-based rip-off of that movie. How the f*** is there a camera in front of Lightning McQueen that is faster than him in order to record this shit?
I think the camera is just zoomed in close to McQueen, not actually right in front of him faster than him.
EMPs work on electronic devices and equipment, yet this movie will suggest the gasoline in these cars somehow reacts negatively to the EMP, as though there is electronics inside the gasoline, when really an EMP would stop a car regardless of fuel, because modern cars are all electronically controlled, so this fuel additive of death is just pointless and stupid, much like this entire sequel.
Well, it's revealed at the end of the film why this happens. Holly reveals that all in all was actually gasoline that was engineered by Axelrod to explode when hit by the beam of the EMP camera.
Get out now!
Well, I usually like to have a proper detailing done before I meet a lady friend.
Somehow, Mater is coaxed into getting out of the pits just because this beautiful lady car begs him to do it. And yeah, the power of car boners is probably strong, but enough to get Mater away from his best friend's race that he's leading and is almost over?
1, yes. 2, Jeremy makes an inappropriate comment, cliche.
Look, I know that Finn is a high-priority target for the bad guys, but they are specifically looking for Mater right now. He's the one with the thing that they need. So why is the entire bad guy crew going after Finn?
Since the Lemons just discovered that Finn was never actually dead, they're trying to kill him so that he can't interfere with their schemes.
I don't need your help. I don't want your help.
Movie rips off the telling off of Encino Man from Encino Man, which basically ripped off the shooting of...
Next.
Who are you with? FBI? CIA?
Let's just say I'm AAA affiliated.
Seriously, if Mater were even a tiny bit not dumb, this movie couldn't exist. Though, in his defense, the British intelligence agents in this movie are basically just as much to blame, since they actually think Mater is a secret agent most of the film.
So what exactly is this in here? You're just telling us the reason for the misunderstanding in this movie and also suing the movie for something that didn't happen, but could have.
Hang on!
He's pursuing cars grunt instead of, jumping out the window and following these assholes. Like Cap and Winter Soldier on the rooftop. Oh, he jumped! Guess I'm f***ed then, oh well.
But right after this, Graham and Acer do go after Finn and Mater, they just don't go out the hole.
When Pixar resorts to jokes, you know something went wrong.
But Pixar has used this kind of humor in films before this one, and you even brought that up when you said in Toy Story 3.
Nothing but sand and a couple of Lincoln logs.
I don't think those were Lincoln logs.
Pixar steals the gross poop joke from DreamWorks Shrek movies.
Exactly been much help to anybody recently.
You're helping me. Please, Mater.
This movie is a long-awaited collaboration between Michael Caine and Larry the Cable Guy.
Okay, so how is that a sin?
I guess planes are pigeons now. I've sort of lost track of what's supposed to be intelligent life and mere livestock in this movie.
Yes, the planes are supposed to be pigeons.
A secret meeting in 2 days.
Where's this meeting taking place?
Porto Corsa, Italy.
That's where the next race is.
Then
Gee, I wonder what car absolutely needs to be in the location of every race. And we've seen his dubious backstory, and is trying to sell all in all. Could it be Axelrod?
Yes, the mastermind turns out to be Axelrod.
Dents are valuable. Really?
I come by each one of them with my best friend, Lightning McQueen.
Holy shit, this movie just became the most strictly bullshit imaginable. You don't buff out the dents caused by your time with Lightning McQueen.
I'm pretty sure that Mater was saying that he does get his dents when hanging out with McQueen Jer.
I like how every now and then the film cuts back to Lightning, letting us believe he's still a main character, even though he clearly is not.
Even though McQueen isn't the protagonist of this film, he is the deuteragonist, meaning that he technically still is a main character.
Every single joke in this movie is some sort of car-related replacement for whatever humans use in this world.
Well, yeah, since this is a world of cars.
what's happened?
I'm working on it.
You're working on what? The fact that a heavily favored car just wrecked? Can you not actually see through those things?
What Holly meant by that was that she's trying to figure out what caused Carla Veloso to crash.
When you choose your fuel for the final race, do you have any idea what it's going to be?
All in all.
Well, that's just f***ing stupid. Look, we know what's going on here, but they don't. All they know is that cars are exploding for a reason that could only be all in all.
While I do agree that that's not a smart move on McQueen's part, he does this for a reason. Fillmore says that the fuel is safe, and since McQueen didn't stand by Mater in Japan, he doesn't want to make the same mistake with Fillmore.
These assholes all pull guns on Mater, but then give him time to Mater.
And the reason why is because Zundab tells the other lemons to get down just before Mater unintentionally starts shooting at them.
The bad guys gas Mater instead of killing him, because they too have a great stake in the toy line Cars inspires.
And the reason why the lemons don't kill him here is because they want him, Finn, and Holly to witness McQueen's death in the final race.
Way too much of the gas-induced Mater hallucination.
While this dream is part of Mater's character arc in this film, he realizes that he was embarrassing McQueen at the party in Japan and can make others around him feel embarrassed when he doesn't know it.
This is some maniacal right here. Tying a man to a... Wait a second. How the did Cars get up here to even tie him into place? This movie gives me a rage boner, and I'm gonna it hard.
Jeremy makes another inappropriate comment, cliché.
London, Mater. Inside Big Bentley.
Big Bentley.
Not a sin there, and so I'll be giving this my award.
Glamour shot of Big Bentley. Say, why did the Car Society build all the same we have here in our real human society?
Because the settings of this movie are like our world, only with cars instead of humans, and I feel like you would have known that back when you seen the first film in 2016.
Okay, you movie. When Mater awoke from his gas nightmare, these two were this close to being smashed by the next gear change. But now you want the gears to move, and end up with them even further away than where they started. This is computer animation, f***ers. You don't actually have to accept continuity errors. You created them and have the power to fix them.
Except the gear that Holly and Finn were previously close to isn't supposed to crush them. It's the gear that they're moving towards.
These motherfuckers move another slot closer and yet still are a full slot away from being crushed. Listen, this movie is terrible in pretty much every way.
Actually, Holly and Finn are 3 slots away from being crushed, not 1.
EMP suddenly doesn't work because God hates all of us. And yes, I know what the movie tells us about McQueen's fuel later that totally explains this, I just don't care.
Acknowledges that the film explains why McQueen doesn't die here, yet proceeds to sin the film for the camera not working anyway.
The previously tested and working laser ray to f with cars running on all in all doesn't work as expected, so they call in Plan B, which is super sudden and also a f***ing bomb planted in McQueen's pit, which is a way better method of killing him than some kind of laser ray anyway.
But since the camera was effective in the previous 2 races, it makes sense that using the camera to kill McQueen would be their Plan A.
Did you know she had twin batarangs in her front tires? Cause I definitely did not know that.
Well, she used them on Tombe earlier in the film, and if you were actually paying attention, you would know that.
I'm the bomb! Yes, Mater, you are the bomb!
The entire movie is built around repeated asinine misunderstandings, and it makes me want to kill something in anger, like a plant or a beetle.
But it's not the movie's fault that you want to do those things, so I'll give this my award.
Movie is sadly overestimating my love of Mater and McQueen in this series of close calls.
What is happening?
Movie speaks for the audience and does so expertly.
Queen, let go!
Never!
Even more of this f***ery.
What do we do?
It's very simple. You'll blow up.
Does lightning blowing up still somehow work for the bad guys at this point? How would no one know what happened? How does this get blamed on all in all?
Yes, it would work for the lemons because McQueen blowing up would fully discredit alternative fuel, which is why all in all would be blamed. You know, because it's supposedly alternative fuel.
Yep, that's just ordinary water, somehow knocking the bad guys 100 feet back. Yeah, it's coming from a fire truck and it's probably strong, but we're talking about cars that weigh a ton.
Yeah, but this isn't supposed to be our reality, Jer. Get it yet?
Damn!
What?
Come on, Jeremy, you already knew that Axelrod is the mastermind based on what you said earlier.
It's official. You're coming to all my races from now on.
Gee, you're such a great guy, McQueen. I can't f***ing wait for Cars 3 now, where you're probably a dick again for some unknown reason.
Yes, there is a part in Cars 3 where McQueen is a dick to Cruz, but like in this film and the first Cars film, he has a character arc in that film too.
I'm Mater's girlfriend.
Oh, you are not.
Yes, she is, so this sin will be receiving my award. And here's the end result, everybody. The sin total was 533, and the sentence will be hit by the camera. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.